spent waiting, listening to silence and sometimes static on the phone. But it pays off in the end, lots of times. Yes?
What location are you trying to get in contact with?
What location? In Manhattan, Ritz-Carlton.
Okay. Do you know if it's Central Park or Battery Park?
Central Park.
Central Park.
Yeah.
Okay. The gentleman that you would have to get into contact with, or that would be the contact, is our Director of Engineering. I'm going to see if I can send him an email.
All right, would you?
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. And then, is there a number that I can call you back?
Well, the office is closed right now. I'm actually calling you from my cell phone.
Okay.
You know what? If you call the 718 number and leave them, but I can't figure out that answering machine. What time will you get a response from him?
Well, I'll email him now, and hopefully I could get a response within the next half hour, which I'm sure I probably could.
All right, would you do that? And then I can call you back, and then we can find out what time to come in tomorrow for this, because we're supposed to do it quickly. That's what he told us.
Okay.
All right?
All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, wait, sir.
Yeah.
What company are you with?
Last Hope Exterminators.
Last Hope.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I think we can safely say if there's another Hope, it's not going to be at the Ritz-Carlton. We will not be welcome there. And thanks, T-Profit, for that. That was good. That was good. It worked out. How much time do we have? Maybe we can take some questions, and we'll try one more before. Microphone is in the middle, if anybody wants to walk up and just ask. Or share stories, too. If you guys have any social engineering stories of your own, we'd sure like to hear them. Get some inspiration.
I actually got a call on Thursday morning from what I later found out to be a series of scammers that have been pretty well circulating around the internet, calling all over the country, trying to separate people from their money. Would you like their phone number?
You can give it to us, but I wouldn't give it to us with all these people because, if you...
Oh, no, they're scammers.
Well, I mean, you say they're scammers, but they're probably investment bankers, and they're...
This is true.
But definitely share it, send us an email or hand it to us, and we can look into them. And lots of times what happens...
Do you want to call them now?
You type a phone number into Google, and you get all these stories of people that have had the same thing happen to them. And it's incredible what you can learn from a company. Always, whenever you do business with somebody you don't know, type in their name, type in their phone number, see if other people have had experiences with them. If you get a telemarketing call from some weird place you don't think is quite right, use Google and find out all kinds of other things about them, what other people have experienced. But definitely do your research before giving out any information. Okay, second on this line. We have two microphones, but first we have more people on this one. We'll go to that one next.
I'd just like you to make that call in about a half hour, call that guy back.
I'm sorry?
I'd like you to call that guy back in a half an hour at the Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah, but I'll be on my cell phone then, really. All right, in the back.
Yeah, just sharing a general story. Or even like just a general recommendation. The easiest way is to find like common ground. For example, I'm Puerto Rican, so if I see a Latin American, that common ground, you start speaking into Spanish, and they open up a whole lot that they wouldn't have open up previously. Like for example, the other way I was in Subway, and the previous customer was just giving them a lot of shit. So, but sometimes you can tell like, I know this guy speaks Spanish. So the guy leaves, I try talking to him like, yeah, wow, he was giving you a lot of shit in Spanish. And without me noticing, I take my stuff, and I notice that he had put 2 extra cookies for me. So, I don't know if that exactly counts, but that was totally a win for me.
You can get very far by using a very thick accent. It doesn't even have to be an existing language, but you just talk so slowly and get all these words wrong, and they will do whatever they can to get you off the phone. They'll tell you their address, their phone number, because sometimes these representatives, they're really like slaves. They can't even hang up. They have the headsets attached to their head, and they don't even have a hang up button. They have to wait for the customer to hang up before they get connected to the next call. It's pathetic.
Also, a technique, when you're talking to somebody on the phone that you really don't want to talk to, hang up while you're talking. That must have been accidental.
Okay, next question in the front.
I don't know if anyone here is from Jacksonville, Florida, but there's a radio station, and this is all over the rural South. You'll find these they're call-in bargain radio stations. And they'll say their phone number over the air. It's usually an FM band a little bit below the commercial band between the religious stations. And they will have buyer's numbers. So you can call this, say, the station, they'll answer you and you're on the air immediately. And they'll say, hello, what do you want? This is WJXR. And then you say, hi, I'm buyer number 806JV. I'd like 50 truckloads of Purina dog chow delivered to my house. And they'll usually put it in the system under whoever's buyer numbers that is. And you can usually figure out the buyer number just by listening to 2 or 3 of them. And then you've got about 30 seconds on the air to say whatever you want before they chop you off. So look these stations up. One of them's in Jax called WJXR.
You have an evil mind, sir, but you're welcome here. Next in this line.
I'm wondering if you think you could, I know you don't know the airline, but you could probably see if you could get Sarah Brown's flight number. Because you know when she's getting into...
Everybody please leave Sarah Brown alone. She just has to get to the airport tomorrow to get wherever the hell she's going. Let her do that in peace, but suggestion noted. One more here, then we'll get to Rebel, who's filming his question. Go ahead.
I got a bit of a story here with social engineering. A friend of mine and I were actually staying up late at night, and we actually just got a random pop-up instant message from one of those, hey, we're going to send you a bunch of money orders, you cash them and send them off to Britain. Well, the thing is, a friend of mine, he's actually in the security and fraud department for PayPal. So we're actually just sitting there thinking, all right, how can we screw with this person? What we did actually is we pulled up a random name generator to get a bunch of different people's names. Then we got the list of all the State Departments for the FBI. We then proceeded to say, okay.
Go on, dig yourself in deeper.
We proceeded to say that, yes, we're John Smith at State Office of FBI in Nevada. They said, oh, okay, yeah, so we can go, yeah, we'll be right here. We'll go ahead and cash those money orders for you, ship them off to Britain for you, no problem. Oh, by the way, we have about 8 or 9 other friends that we want to go ahead and just send you information because they want to go ahead and do that too.
Sorry.
And it got to the point where we were actually just in mid-conversation getting to start to like where she was actually getting friendly with us and all this type of thing. And she was like, well, I got to go now because I'm going to go ahead and just take a shower and we'll talk to you later. And we're like, right, whatever. We'll see if we can hear you in the news about this later.
Rebel in the back, go ahead, make it quick.
Yes, I'd like to mention social engineering. Everybody knows about telemarketing. It's annoying when they call you, and then they call you with numbers that they're supposed to caller ID. And when they spoof the caller ID, when you try and call it back, it's a disconnected number or a number that you can't call. What I do is I had to change my number. That wasn't the reason I changed my number, but I changed my number. They had the nerve, because my phone number isn't listed in the phone book, they have the nerve to look up my phone number, look up my name, and call the new number. Now guess what I have to do? Thanks to you, Emmanuel, I learned this from you. Change my last name in the directory, and you could do this without a charge. You don't have to pay that unlisted, because you got to pay usually to get your name unlisted. First name remains the same, the last name you change. So in other words, now when they try and look up your name, well, it's not listed.